Okay, so I haven't done one of these in, I guess, probably about a year. So we'll see if I can remember how these work. I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video on Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements, son of Honeysuckle. And kind of looking forward to this. I've used it a couple of times, and it's a really, really, really cool scent. It's very nostalgic. If you grew up in the South or in the Midwest or whatever, it's a very nostalgic scent. I mean, this is totally summer. Honeysuckle is basically the scent of going over to my grandma's house in the late 80s because she had honeysuckle bushes all over the place. And, you know, going out and playing in the yard, I mean, that was, the scent basically punches me in the face with that nostalgia. So as far as the blade, we are using Voskhod, Teflon coated. And I have two different razors I'm going to be messing with. They're both the Gillette vintage throwbacks that came out, 2019 or something like that. So we have this one and we have this one, both King C Gillette razors. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get into it. So I already have my shave soap packed into my Old Spice mug. So we'll go ahead and get some water in here. Kind of get it a little bit wet. So it looks like we have Money in the Bank coming up, and then after that we have SummerSlam. And so my prediction is I am going to call, it looks like based on last night's episode of SmackDown, how we have it set up is Bayley is more than likely going to be going to Raw. That's just how it appears to me. So I'm going to assume that Bayley is going to Raw. And I'm going to assume that at some point during the Money in the Bank airing that Becky Lynch is going to come back. I'm going to assume. So we can get a nice lather going on. A tad bit more water. The problem with using a mug at the start is there's just not a lot of room to work. Water. I'm sure it's fine. And that's cold. Need a little bit more water. I'm calling that based on how they usually don't like to break up couples and that kind of thing. So with Seth being on SmackDown, I'm just going to assume that Becky's going to be on SmackDown, and I'm going to assume that her return is extremely imminent. But I think, I'm just spitballing here, I have absolutely no inclination at all, but I'm going to step out on the line, and I'm going to make the call and declare right now that Becky's going to come back. She's going to come back heel. Because that's how Seth is. And they can weave her into that. More water. That's the problem, is at the top of the mug, it's just really hard to... There we go. There we go. Okay. Now we're cooking with fire. Might get a little bit more water. Okay. I'm going to go with this smaller one because I kind of like this razor better. I like the other razor better for right under the nose, but I like this one better for most other things. I think I'm going to take my sideburns down a little bit too. I already get myself. The water is much colder than I would like. But what can you do? I guess I'll have the first pass be in real time, and then I'll do a time lapse for the second 2 passes. See, I'm going to switch up to this one under node. There we go. That's better. And to me, it just makes sense to have Becky come back as heel because who do we have on SmackDown? We have Liv, who's face. We have Bianca, who's face. Go on, Chin. I'm not really sure how they classify Carmella because she kind of goes either way. So, who knows on that. But, yeah, I mean, if Bayley's leaving, there's going to be a hole that needs to be filled. So, yeah, that's just what I'm going. Okay. First pass 7. So far, so good, except for I got myself right on the chin, but, you know, other than that. There's just such a clean scent. That's the thing. Is there's, to me, it's a little bit complex, but it's so clean. Because, I mean, maybe it's subliminal, but, I mean, when I was, had my nose just buried in the canister when I first got it, I'm like, it's almost like I can smell like the plant stem, you know, it's like the greenery, you can smell that in addition to the actual bloom itself. So I don't know if that's actually there, or again, if it's just subliminal, but I mean, that's what I feel like. Okay, I'm gonna change razors and try this one for the side pass. I think I'm going a little bit too fast. I need to slow down a little bit because I feel like I'm pushing it. I'm pushing it a little bit too hard. Okay, pass number 2 is done. We'll go ahead and give a little bit more. And then speculation has that Big E could possibly be moving to Raw after SummerSlam. And that makes some sense to me because I think that with the story they got going with the New Day, that they could slide him right into a legitimate top feud with Lashley. This water is just so cold. I didn't run hot water into this thing. I just ran, tap water. I guess it wouldn't be a summer shave without cold water. Let's see if I can try to get in here a little bit more with a much wetter layer of soap. I guess I'll go ahead and grab a rag and throw in some aftershave and do some final thoughts. Okay, so we got all the shaving soap wiped off and drained the sink. So I guess we can go ahead and do some aftershave. This is probably going to sting a little bit because I kind of got myself in a few places because the cold water is just, I'm not a fan of cold shaving at all. And it seemed like this definitely didn't help any, but oh well. One thing I will say about the aftershave is it definitely has more spice to it than the soap. The soap is just an extremely clean, natural scent, whereas the aftershave, I smell a little bit more, spice to it, which is to be expected with an aftershave or with a cologne. You want a little bit of a bite to it. Once again, so we got Son of Honeysuckle by Phoenix Artisan. I'm really stoked about it, so I'm looking forward to this being basically my main driver all summer long. And I guess we'll see what I can get into this fall and what scent I decide to go with then. So until next time, thanks for watching and peace out.